Welcome to part 2 of the Jephthah series. Today's message is entitled Jephthah, the son of a prostitute. Jephthah, the son of a prostitute. I'm going to read Judges chapter 11, verse 1 and 2. The Bible says, Now Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty man of valor, but he was the son of the prostitute. And Gilead begat Jephthah. Verse 2 says, Gilead's wife bore sons, and when his son's wife grew up, they chased Jephthah out and said, You have no inheritance in our father's house, for you are the son of a prostitute. If there's any man who was not going to succeed in life, it is Jephthah. Circumstances did not favor Jephthah to become successful in life. Number one, Jephthah's mother was a prostitute, which carried a negative connotation. It meant that every time Jephthah was walking, there was some discrimination attached to him because of the mother who was a prostitute. Number two, Jephthah was chased from his father's house. He could not be part and parcel of that family, that household, and that clan. Number three, Jephthah could not receive any inheritance from the father's house. So everything did not favor Jephthah to become successful. The question is Jephthah going to allow his present situations to determine how his future is going to be? Is Jephthah going to allow his circumstances to determine his future? And let us go back to our text, Judges chapter 11, verse 1 and 2. In verse 1, we are told that Jephthah was the son of a prostitute, or the son of a harlot. In verse 2, we are told that the wife's son, they chased Jephthah and said, You will not have inheritance in our father's house, for you are the son of a prostitute. They are using the son, not a son. The definite article which is used there is the. Once the is used as a definite article in that context, it means Jephthah was the son who was unique. Jephthah was the son who was different from any other sons of Gilead. These other sons, you just hear that they are sons, but for Jephthah, he is the son. Secondly, Jephthah is the only son of Gilead who had a name mentioned in this passage. The rest, they are called sons of Gilead, but Jephthah is called by his name. Why? Because he is the son. I love one thing about this passage because it signifies that Jephthah has a unique identity. You may be a parental mistake, but you're not a divine mistake. That is why Jeremiah 1 verse 5 says, Before I formed you in the womb of your mother, I knew you, and I ordained you a prophet to the nations. Even you, brother and sister, before you were formed, God knew you, and He had a purpose for you. He had a purpose that you're going to be a blessing to other people. You may be born illegitimate, but your existence in this world is not illegal. You are existing because God knows that you are going to come, and He planned for your existence. Don't despair. Don't be worried. The Lord is going to be your God. Born illegitimate does not mean God doesn't have a purpose for you. Your future is not determined by your present circumstance. Your future is determined by what God says. I love Psalms 23 verse 5. It says, You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. The Lord prepared a leadership table for Jephthah in the presence of his enemies. He can still do the same for you. Jephthah was dining at the helm of leadership when the people that chased him out were not there. They could not do anything. So the Lord can take you from being a victim to a victor. The Lord can move you from zero to a hero. The Lord can make you a somebody from a nobody. Just look up to Him, the author and finisher of your faith, because God has your future in His hands, and your future is not determined by your present circumstances. Your future is determined by what God says. Look up to Jesus, because Jesus will be the strength in your weakness. May you be blessed as we continue exploring the Jephthah series. Amen.